Hello, hello. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about moments where you may have been finding yourself on set, feeling a lot of different energies, feeling contradicting energies, getting some direction from a director that is maybe very clear, and then talking to the DP who's saying something else, and then being with makeup and realizing that they're not aligned with what you heard from the director or with what you're really understanding from your character. And so that's just in terms of information, but then also you may come to set, whether you're on set for a long time or whether you're just integrating an existing set. Hi, Claude. You're integrating an existing set, and then you're there for just a little bit and you're feeling all of these different groups, and you're just kind of being dumped into a pool of different egos and conflicts and a lot of gossip, and people are pulling certain directions, and you're finding yourself in the middle of that. There's also, of course, time pressure, and how do you deal with all of that? That's a lot to deal with, especially because you're coming in with yourself, with a character. You want to stay focused. You want to really be present to your character's needs, and then there's all of that, and it can seem like really chaotic, like a whirlwind of things and energies and information. And how do you deal with that? That's really a lot to deal with. And so what you may have tried so far is really just hoping that it's going to be okay. You may have been caught in the middle of a lot of different energies that didn't all go in the same direction, and you were impacted by that. And so you may have tried to talk with people on set yourself and catch yourself start to gossip and take sides. You may have gone back home and cried because the experience was really not fulfilling. You may have started judging, resenting. At the end of the day, trying to be in the middle of all of that and somehow find an exit doesn't work, right? So if you've been there, especially hoping that next time it's going to be better, or tomorrow it's going to be better, or tomorrow I'll show up and I'll be really strong and I won't pay attention, and therefore it won't kind of steal my concentration away when it's my scene. I won't be like mixed with all of the people and the energies, and I'll be really able to be present when it's my scene. So you've tried these things and they don't work. And the reason they don't work, it's because you're not, or we're not looking at the root of what's really happening. So if you're caught in the middle of all of these energies on set and you feel like you have to deal with them all, it means that you're not present to the root, which is the root that's happening is that you're not, I'm going to repeat the word, rooted into your experience. So when you are not really anchored into your body, really embodying your truth, being with your character's needs, preoccupied, concerned, and focused on your character's needs, when you're not inhabiting your own space, you're not inside of your instrument, but your feelers are constantly out there trying to hypervigilate, judge, assess, take in control, interpret, think, and analyze, you're not into you. When you're really into your instrument, into your body, into your own energy, into your experience, what happens out there is not threatening. It doesn't pull your attention away. It's just there. It's doing its own thing. And you're just here. Like a tree that would be in the middle of a storm. Yeah, it might kind of, you hear it. It doesn't break you. It doesn't take you with it. It doesn't make you start to loop with it. So it's really, really crucial that you're able to show up on set rooted inside of your instrument. And if you're not doing that, it means that part of you is still looking for validation outside of you, for safety outside of you, for confirmation outside of you, for belonging outside of you, for pleasure and fulfillment outside of you. So basically that you're looking for all of your human needs, for vision outside of you, for connection outside of you. You're outsourcing everything. And you're not being responsible for yourself. You're not being yourself. You're not leading your own experience. You're disconnected from yourself, tapped into everything that's out there in the hope that that will fulfill all of your needs for safety, ideas, like it fulfills your identity if people like you, right? It determines what other people want, so that's what I'm going to do. Or I'm checking in with what other people are saying, so that's what I'm going to say, etc., etc. So really the reason for you to be able, not the reason, but why it's important to realize that is because when you're aware that all your energy, all your attention is connected to the outside, you're able to realize that and be aware of that. You're able to understand that that's how you have been raised. You have not been educated, raised, wired, or programmed into being you. You haven't been welcomed to feel your feelings. When you were sad, you were told to not be sad. When you were scared, you were told to not be scared. When you were angry, you were told to not be angry, etc., etc., etc. So you haven't been welcomed in your feelings. You haven't been welcomed into what you want. You've never been told that it's okay to say, I want this. You've been told to say, could I have this? May I have this? Is it okay if I have this? But saying I want is impolite. You haven't been to a school, most of us haven't been to a school where we were invited to be ourselves and to do what we wanted. We've been invited to sit down, shut up, do what we're told, learn what we're told, regurgitate what we're told, behave like we're told, think like we're told, feel like we're told, look like we're told. Oh my God, just saying this, my head is spinning. And therefore, of course, no wonder that you're tapped into the external authority, trying to figure out how must I be? What must I do? Because if you didn't do that as a little person, you were punished. So that's still in your nervous system. And so the safest thing to do until you undo all of that learning, until you wake up to your truth, the safest thing to do is to cope, is to do what's right, is to please, is to be good, is to look for safety out there, look for belonging out there, look for what they want out there, look for doing it right out there, look to look good from out there, right? So if you're catching yourself there, the good news is it's not your fault, absolutely not your fault. It is because you have been raised at home and at school in a conditioned way to not be you, to not ever honor your feelings, your sensations, your desires, but actually to honor other people around you that were your authority figures. So inevitably, when you're on set, that's what happens, because your nervous system has been shaped that way with all the years and the decades that you've lived. So the opportunity, if it's not your fault, and if it's not a problem you have, it's not about you're not good enough. It's not about there's something wrong with you. It's not about I need to fix myself. It's not about I need to improve. Again, it's nothing outside. It's actually the opposite. It's undoing all the conditioning, undoing all the programming, undoing all the stuff that was shoved down your throat for you to not be you, undoing all the authorities that are governing you so that you can start to get reconnected with who you really are, for what you really came for, and that little by little you can wake up to your truth and your freedom. So that's the work we do in the reset journey from resistance to freedom. We help actors from beginner levels to all the way up to really undo undo all the chains of conditioning, undo them. All the contracts of conditioning, all the obligations, all the learned behaviors that are not you, that make you show up with a mask, that make you show up blind to even your own truth, so that you can show up fulfilled, so that you can come on set. And sure, there's things happening around you, but you're here right now. You're with your character. You're devoted to your character's needs rather than your own egotistical needs. You're not there for your ego. You're there for your character's needs. And you're focused on that, and your energy is just with that. Not that you even have to build a wall to not feel the other energies. You'll integrate them. They'll feed your system. But first, you have to undo the chains, the shackles, the straightening jackets that you've been raised into, so that you can remove those coping masks, and so that you can show up purposeful, free, driven for your character's needs, and not at the mercy of everything that's around you, not having to deal with the mixed energies around you, but just being able to focus in devotion to your character in order to do the job that you were paid for, because that's your responsibility. So if this is interesting to you and you want to start doing this work, you can send us a comment and write free 100, and we can start sending you some free information. We'll first connect with you to see what really it is that you're dealing with, and then we'll be able to send you some information. I'm going to read a comment. Euclid says, I totally agree. You must have a sense that you are anchored when you show up. Thank you. Yes, Chelsea. All right. Well, I think this finishes it. Again, if you're interested, let us know. Type free 100 in the comments to get in touch with us, and then we'll spend some time a little bit in a conversation to really sense into what's most needed for you to start coming back into you, reconnecting to you, and disconnecting from all the outside perceived authorities. Thank you so much. Bye.